On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Mike and Bennett are sitting down to discuss...
Oh my.
Chai Boys. Chai Boys.
Man.
Yeah,
Who the
Chai
fuck knows
Boys.
what a Chai Boy is?
Google it. You Google Chai Boys. CHAI space BOYS. Chai Boys. And the very first thing you're going to see is some old guy forcibly kissing a little boy, and I'm pretty sure putting his hand on his crotch. Yep, that's what Chai Boys are. And we dealt with some of that shit in Afghanistan.
So if you are faint of heart,
Probably not going to like this.
change the fucking channel.
Yeah.
Blah. Actually, you're the one that probably should listen.
Right.
Get a little education on shit that goes down in the fucking heathen world.
So my man Bennett over here has been doing some mad research. So we're going to do that along with, just basic eyewitness testimony from a Marine. Me, who is an advisor, and not so much...
Advisor to Afghani police.
Afghan police officers, correct. Now, here's the thing. Outside, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. So, Chai Boys, Man Boy Thursday is where this was first introduced to me as an advisor going through
Fucking
advisor
crazy
training.
as fuck. Man Boy Thursday.
This is like...
Holy fuck!
This is a fucking thing. It's really gross. I guess dudes are for pleasure and women are for reproduction.
Procreation, my friend.
Right, procreation, oh man, it's so gross. So we knew about Man Boy Thursday before it got on the ground in Afghanistan, and we flat out were saying and held to this rule because we have a code of ethics. That shit is never going to happen on one of our bases in any way, shape, or form, which it did not. Did they fuck each other? Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. But the whole Man Boy Thursday did not happen on base. That doesn't mean they wouldn't tell you about it and you wouldn't see these kids. It's fucking gross, dude. It's disgusting. And of course, your heart just is like bleeding for this child. Like, oh my God. Yep. Now, one of the reasons why we wanted to bring this up, or at least I did, I brought this up, Mike Penny did, is because one, people in America don't necessarily understand in some foreign cultures it's totally cool to fuck kids. The other thing is...
Well, they just put their fingers in their ears and they go, la 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 la
Right.
la 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 la.
Right. That doesn't happen here, so we don't care, right?
Well,
I mean, unfortunately, it does happen.
There's plenty of pedophiles in the U.S.
Right. We've
It's
got
just-
our own pedophiles to worry about.
It's just not like culturally accepted the same way.
Right. No, I mean, like, Google Chai Boys, and, like, you'll see the old man and the kid making out with, like, people around holding signs. Like, this is appreciated. It's fucking weird, in my opinion. So, Man Boy Thursday was originally taught to me in the advisor training, cell, classroom type setting, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, excuse me? Wait a minute. No. This is an accepted practice where we're going. Like, how do we know who to kill again? What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Well, and it's one of those deals where, again, if they were off the police station, out of the PB or anything else like that, they were doing their own thing on their own time, and we couldn't really necessarily worry about that, until those police officers came back, and then they were back within the group, and, it's the same thing here, right? What you're doing on your personal time, if found out, will wind up by trial by peers or something like that. I have no idea. Whatever the route goes. But over there, it's culturally accepted. So they go out in town and diddle kids and then wind up coming back, and I'm like, that's not within my realm of ethics. I don't agree to that. Right there. Thanks very much. I don't think that a kid can trust a police officer after he rapes him. Is that strange? I don't know. But just, right?
Now, see, what's funny is you'll have, and I've actually heard this. I've read it. I actually need to pull it up. God, I wish I had saved that article. Where basically then who do I label these people as? The people on the more progressive side of the political spectrum, I guess you would say the left, coming out and basically blaming this on us. On us.
Like we're allowing it?
No, because what happens is here's what's crazy. So because the Taliban, like Islamic fundamentalists, are not really into raping little boys. they're into raping little girls, but not into raping little boys.
Right.
Right. Because an actual, again, I don't know if it's technically Sharia or if it's Quranic law, which is technically one and the same, but not technically. Homosexuality is punishable by death.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, just look at Saudi Arabia, look at Iran, like ISIS, the Taliban. They would routinely murder people for being gay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but because then we went into Afghanistan and kicked the Taliban out, it's our fault because the Chai Boys were brought back.
Right.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Oh, man.
It's so weird. But no, I shit you not. There are people that, because they can't see past the end of their nose,
right,
they'll blame it on us because it doesn't matter that gays were being beheaded and this and that and the other thing, even though just because you're gay doesn't mean you're a pedophile or anything like that.
No, that's
but
not
what I'm saying is but the practice.
Fucking kids makes you a pedophile.
Right, fucking kids makes you a pedophile. But the Taliban being in power, they stopped it. Basically, it went underground instead of right out in Man Boy Thursdays. Right. You know, it was out. Yeah. And now it came back. And the fact though that we oh, Jesus Christ. I just can't. It makes me sick. I just threw up in my mouth. It does?
Dude, I'm telling you. And now I busted in on a steaming room with like 3 AUP in it, just going at it. Just raw dogging, barebacking it. Lots of hair and brown skin. Oh, you know?
What do they call it? What's the actual name for it?
I have no idea.
It's like Bacha Bazi or something like that.
I would just called it Fiki Fika. It was like Fiki Fika no good. I wound up slamming the door on that stuff.
No, Mushi Mushi.
You want to do it? That's totally cool. I got you. That's fine. If the cop, like, we would break that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
go ahead, have fun banging each other, but don't fuck 11-year-old little boys.
Right?
Doesn't work like that.
Those guys got roped up. Like, and now keep in mind.
So the Bacha Bazi, and I think that's how you say it, literally translates to playing with boys.
See, and if you want, that's cool. Whatever. Don't fuck little kids. That's
just don't fuck little kids, man. I mean,
stop that.
I'm so sorry. Like marrying. I'm sorry. So we're calling this episode about Chai Boys, but it's really about. I think we have to expand it a little bit to just pedophilia in some of these countries in general. Now, yes, there's pedophilia everywhere, but. I mean, dude, Mohammed had a wife that was like 9.
Right. You're like, oh, that's ingrained behavior. I'm just throwing it out there. Oh, good God. You know what? One of the reasons.
Acceptable. I mean, even right now, it's acceptable in some of these countries where literally girls are being married at like 13.
Right.
12, 13 years old. This is acceptable to people.
This is going to sound tangential, but I just want to know. You watch the show 30 Rock?
Yeah, Tina Fey's comment about Chai Boys and
yes.
shit.
Yes. Did Jack Donaghy's assistant?
I really was like, do the writers not know what that really means?
Right.
Like, and it's funny? How is that funny? Because I mean,
come on in here, you little Chai Boy.
Show. It's a satirical show. The shit's funny.
Right.
It really is.
Laughing.
I think it's fucking hysterical. But the whole Chai Boy comment took me aback.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh,
made me blush. Good job, 30 Rock.
I was like, does somebody not really know what the fuck they're talking about there? Because this is pretty gross.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes beyond like, nipples and, I mean...
Well, and here's the other thing too, and maybe you didn't know this, I don't know, but at least in the area of Afghanistan where we were, part of the cultural thing to do was to dye your hair orange, like that orangish, reddish tint, and to wear eyeliner and to wear makeup and different things like that. And so the first time that I laid eyes on who I knew was a Chai Boy. His hair was dyed orange. He was like 6. His hair was dyed orange. Eyeliner, right? I don't think he had the curls, but it looked like cat eye on the eyeliner, and he was serving chai. And that was out in town near Kajaki. And I was like, holy shit. was good chai. I mean, they put in a lot of sugar, but anyway.
I mean, and the thing is too, is what was kind of funny is they were talking about, Jack. All right. So the character in 30 Rock, Jack.
Oh yeah.
They were talking about his Indian secretary.
Right. Daniel, yeah.
Daniel, right?
Come on in here, you little chai boy. Oh, dude. Liz Lemon of all people. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, man. And so you call him, she calls him a chai boy for the East Coast and then Aladdin.
Aladdin for the West Coast?
Yes.
There's an East Coast, West Coast version?
I think that's what it sounds like.
What?
So
how do you know that?
I'm reading an article about it.
Holy shit.
So it says Dreyfuss's performance of Liz employs radicalized jokes. And so was it Tina Fey that said it or
Tina Fey.
The other chick.
It was Tina Fey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says racialized jokes about Jack's male Indian American secretary as she calls him a chai boy for the East Coast and Aladdin for the West. So what the fuck does that mean? That literally they have like different episodes that air in different places?
I don't know.
That's just fucking weird. But anyway, yes.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but that shit's weird.
Yep.
Oh, it's on the internet. It must be true.
Oh, it's gotta be. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing is like, it's hard to describe the way that, like, they'll tell you that it's going on and describe it. And yeah. And they've got like porn on their phone that is clearly pedophilia. And you're just like, wow, this is
truly
disgusting.
Is different. There truly is different versions of 30 Rock.
There's different versions of 30
Rock? Of the live. All right. So there was different versions of the live 30 Rock episode. So the East Coast, they use Chai Boy. And the West Coast, they use Aladdin. I wonder if people were like, do you know what the fuck Chai Boy means? Like after they performed it. And plus it's not really Indian. It's more Central Asian.
Right.
Because it's not just Afghanistan. It's kind of a Central Asian
Bacha Bazi
tradition.
Boys.
Jesus. So, all right. So for everyone, if you want to learn more about Chai Boys, or we could call them the Dancing Boys of Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. PBS, the show Frontline on PBS, does a really good investigative journalistic portrayal of the Dancing Boys of Afghanistan. And it's PBS, so it's not that disturbing, but it's disturbing.
It's fucking disturbing. Like the thought of that is really disturbing, at least to me. With kids,
it's basically.
You have kids.
Again, though. No, so here, I have quite a few.
Right.
So here's the intro from Frontline. All right. In Afghanistan today, in the midst of war and endemic poverty, an ancient tradition banned when the Taliban were in power because they were so fucking righteous and good, has reemerged across the country. Many hundreds of boys, often as young as 11, and I can tell you from knowing from friends and experience that there can be way younger than 11, are being lured off the streets on the promise of a new life, many unaware that their real fate is to be used for entertainment and sex. With remarkable access inside a sexual exploitation ring operated in Afghanistan, an Afghan journalist investigates this illegal practice, talking with the boys and their masters and documenting how Afghan authorities responsible for stopping these crimes, because technically it's illegal on the books.
Right. Not on Sharia law.
See, here's the thing. Afghan authorities responsible for stopping these crimes are sometimes themselves complicit in the practice. Like, so you've got
see, it wasn't the cops. It wasn't the cops up near Kajaki. It was the cops near Sangin that were like bad. Like they would go out and like bang heroin all night and kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was like their vices, heroin and young boys. Yeah, this is fucking gross. This is why. It's disgusting. Yeah. Any hoozle. So, wait a minute. What's the website on that again?
It's on Frontline. Just go to Frontline on PBS.
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
They actually are pretty good, man. There's a lot of good shows on.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, another one they're left leaning for sure. But they definitely do some investigative journalism type things. Just kind of like Vice as well. You ever watch Vice? Have you ever seen that on HBO?
Nope.
Yeah, man, they do the same kind of thing. And they don't really, I mean, if it's fucked up, they pretty much go, yeah, here it is, and it's fucked up.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna suck. Well, and that's the thing too, is like this is Cigars and Sea Stories, where we're talking about like downrange and what was happening in the different vills and stuff like that. That's what was happening.
And at the end of the day, I understand that sometimes you have to use negotiation in politics. You know what I mean? But not when it comes to raping children. No. Okay? So the U.S. Army, in their infinite fucking wisdom, and I don't know if he got kicked out or he was getting kicked out. I know that he was, but I don't think they did at the end of it, was the case of Sergeant First Class Charles Martland.
What did he do?
All right. So he basically went into a local...
like a Shure or something?
After learning that an Afghan boy was raped and his mother beaten, Martland and his team leader confronted a local police commander they had trained, armed, and paid with U.S. tax dollars. When the man laughed off the incident, they physically confronted him. Okay. Basically, now they put that all nice. Well, they beat him to an inch of his life, basically.
Jesus.
Because he had this little boy chained to his bed.
Ugh.
And was basically just, man boy Thursdays, but I think it was more like man boy every day. And so then the Army decided that because, you know what I mean? Because of politics and decorum or whatever the fuck you want to say, it's just their culture. No, I'm sorry. Raping little boys is not an okay culture.
No.
That's especially when we are using American tax dollars to train and pay this fucking guy. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. He doesn't get to lock up and sodomize kids.
Right. So, yeah. So this was, And this isn't the first incidents like this. I mean, I have a buddy who was in Afghanistan, a couple of them, and I've heard stories from 3 distinct stories. And one of them was literally like they would listen to like the screams of kids getting fucking raped.
Ugh.
And their command expressly said, you will not interfere.
Now, keep in mind, in America, you can kill someone for that. Life, limb, eyesight, or rape.
Right. That is in the rules of engagement.
Right.
That is freaking deadly force authorized.
With my pistol here in America, I can kill somebody for that. Right.
But our troops, and so we've talked about moral injury in past episodes, right?
Sure.
This is a huge example of that, where our troops are literally told to stand down as they listen to the screaming children. I mean, it's like, dude, there's people that would fucking go kill a person for doing that shit to animals, but it's okay to do it to kids, and they can say, "Oh, it's not okay." But you're making the bullshit policies that are doing this or allowing it to happen. You know,
right?
I just don't understand. It's not okay. Hey, guess what, jackass? Fucking raper fuckers. It's not a sexual preference. Raping children is not a sexual preference. It's not like you can walk down the street and go, no, man, it's not okay. I swear to God, cannot fucking come and take, hey, well, can I take your 8-year-old out? She's looking pretty hot in that, babe. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's so fucked.
But unfucking believably, this is okay to some of our population. And here's the fucked up part. Because we can say it's in Afghanistan, I'm just saying that shit's in your face. There are statistically speaking, up to 5% of our population could be pedophiles. Now,
goddamn.
At 5%, man.
5% is way too many.
And it's 10 to 1. And it's not always just men.
Right.
It's a 10 to 1 ratio, but that means for every 100 100 pedophiles, 10 of them are women.
Huh. Well, yeah, you hear about the teachers.
Oh, man, there was some really fucked up. Now, see, here we go. See, not even the Marine Corps is fucking free of this shit. There was a Marine a few years back who used to just basically he was having kids with this woman to basically be able to have sex with the kids.
Oh, my God. That's terrible. That's awful.
This is why I'm not a cop.
Right. Yep.
Because you ever see that American History X? You ever see that movie?
Right.
Where he curbs that poor young black man?
Yep.
I'd be doing that to pedophiles, dude.
Oh, God, yeah.
Unequivocally, unashamed, and I fully admit it.
Yep.
It's the reason I am not a cop. No, I'm serious. Because
I know, I hear
asked
you.
to be in jail because I had to deal with that shit before, and it brought out emotions in me that I can't even, that you just can't control. I literally almost killed a man because of this shit. And it wasn't even my kid. Like, so there's also a story of a guy, oh man. in one of my and I say my hometowns, but I have like 2 or 3 of them. So I'll just say one of my hometowns. Story of a guy, and it's true. I mean, it was in the news. Basically, comes home one day and his wife tells him that his son has been getting sexually molested by the next door neighbor, by the man.
Oh, my God.
Homeboy just fucking loses it, which... No, I mean, not loses it, but like something clicks in his brain.
Right.
Goes upstairs, gets his pistol, walks next door, walks in the back door, and just guns the dude down right at his dinner table.
Yes.
In front of his wife and kids and everything.
Yes.
Which is kind of fucked up, too. I mean, because it's not the wife and kids' fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now they have to live with that imagery, but damn. And he didn't go to jail for it because it's a crime of passion.
Yes!
They were able to prove temporary insanity.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And I can totally agree because it would cause me temporary insanity. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
So, you know, so this is mainly to shine a larger light on how fucked up this world is when it comes to human trafficking, sex slavery, all that shit. Like, seriously, why aren't we all just like causing an uprise and fucking knocking the shit off? Like you literally are ruining a life. You might as well, you would do better if you're going to rape these kids. You would do better by putting a bullet in their head when they're done.
Oh, absolutely.
Than to allow it to continue. So in my eyes, I'm not a big one for capital punishment because I just don't think it's not my place. I'm not the judge, jury, and executioner. You know what I mean?
I would turn him into a eunuch. I'm going actually, totally that route.
Is that there's a guy in Texas not that long ago who had it done chemically castrated, or was he totally castrated? Because he's like, if you let me out, I'm just gonna keep doing it. So his answer was to chemically castrate himself, so his testes don't produce testosterone anymore.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to, but I think he still had the issues. I don't think it fixed it. So it's obviously not a male issue.
Yeah.
It's a fucking derangement, not a sexual fucking preference.
Or, overseas, it can be a cultural issue. So,
Yeah, I guess.
There's that.
Yes.
Dude, I'm like scrolling through pictures because every once in a while when we were walking through the Ville and stuff like that, I click some of these pictures. Yeah. I've definitely got kids from downrange that I'll put up for the Chai Boy episode. Liz Lemon. You called Daniel a Chai Boy. That's funny. Sorry. What were you saying?
Nothing. It's done. I went on my rant. So,
well, it's like, again, the whole idea.
I mean, this shit goes back for eons, I mean, it's not like the first fucking thing, but it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's really messed up. And I will talk about it because for some reason that doesn't make the evening news.
No, I mean, so
like, this is continuous today.
Like, I can't even handle it. Like, I just keep thinking about like the research I've done on this stuff and that there are actual pedophile advocacy groups.
Yeah.
So and basically they advocate for the age of consent reform to lower or abolish age of consent laws, as well as for the acceptance of pedophilia as a sexual orientation rather than a psychological disorder.
My God.
And the legalization of child pornography. Like, how is this okay? It's just not okay.
Not okay. Not okay. I mean, like, I'm not saying you're burning in hell or anything else like that. You got to get some help or something.
No, I'm saying you're burning in hell.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
I could arrange it.
I just don't get it.
Well, and there's that. Dude, the way that I look at it is that it is culturally ingrained where I was operating. That's the fucked up thing that's going on here, in my opinion. It's not whether or not you view it as a condition or a mental health issue, which I don't give a fuck. Go to your safe space and figure it out. But for me, it's a cultural thing that I had to encounter when I was downrange in Afghanistan, and that shit's fucked up. So if you're looking for the reality, in addition to the fighting that took place down here, yeah, some of the sea stories have to do with diddlers and fucking drug users and addicts who were on the police force. The fuck? And that's just like part of their culture. In another episode, we should talk about Suike and all the different drugs and shit that they can get. Like Suike is dip that has fiberglass in it as like a cultivating agent, like a slice your lip open agent. That shit will fuck you up. It's green and gritty and all sorts of. Do not take a dip of Suike. I did not. Thank God. And no, that shit will fuck you up.
Just the name fucks me up.
Yep. And what's funny is when you give them like, I'll give them grizzly, like wintergreen grizzly or something like that, and just watch their face melt, Like Copenhagen? No, fuck no. You don't get my stateside Copenhagen. Hell no. That was back when I was dipping though. I quit that shit when I left the Marine Corps. I don't dip and I don't smoke cigarettes, but I do chomp on stogies. I'm a gentleman, god damn it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are.
Yep. Hey, America. Share with your friends and don't diddle kids. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Cigars and Sea Stories. We got to thank our sponsors also. Spartan Media, they're fantastic. Did our website. I'm sure that they would agree with the content of this episode.
I'm pretty sure Jeremy would.
Yeah, think he'd be on board. Veteranslist.us is where you will find veteran-led businesses. Just go on veteranslist.us. If you yourself want to get a featured membership on there, you can do so for 50% off by entering discount code Cigars and Sea. Again, that's 50% off, half the cost of a featured membership when you enter in discount code Cigars and Sea. So go ahead and do that. If you have comments, maybe you've, been called a shy boy at some point in time in your life, or have a shy boy story, by all means, get in touch with us. It's disgusting and perverse to both of us. So, yeah.
There's a reason that the Greek and Roman fucking empires don't exist anymore.
Maybe that's another episode. Yep.
Bunch of pederasts.
And on that note, we cue the music.